Hello students, let us discuss interhalogen compounds, that is the compounds between the halogens. Let us first define it. The halogen, due to the difference in electronegativity, combine with another to form a number of binary compound known as interhalogen compounds. That is a compound between the two different halogen. That is due to the difference in the electronegativity, they combine with another halogen atom to form a binary compound which is known as interhalogen compound. In simple words, it is a compound between the two different halogens. Let us see what are the types of it. That is X dash. We are representing the X as a halogen. X dash is also halogen, but these are the different halogens. So X dash. It is diatomic because two atoms are involved. Diatomic. X dash 3, that is tetraatomic. 3, this one X dash and 1X tetraatomic. X dash 5, that is total 6 atoms are involved. X and X dash 7, total 8 atoms are involved. So these are the 4 type of interhalogen compound. Why it is called as interhalogen? Because it is a compound between the two different halogen, that is represented as X dash. What it represents? X is an halogen, X dash is another halogen. That is a compound between the two different halogen is called as a interhalogen compound. So one of the halogen is represented by X, the other one is represented by X dash. So the 4 type of interhalogen compound we have seen here. These are the 4 type of interhalogen compound. But here X halogen atom is of larger size and X dash is of smaller size. That is important here. That is X dash is of smaller size halogen and have a greater electronegativity. So that we need to discuss here. For example, we'll be taking one example, IF7. You are familiar with this compound IF7. Here, this is an interhalogen compound. Why? Because it is made up of two different halogen, that is iodine and fluorine, where fluorine, that is representing here as X dash. This is smaller in size in compared to iodine and it is more electronegative in compared to iodine. So that is represented X dash 7. That means X dash 7 is smaller in size and of high electronegativity. And this is of larger in size in compared to fluorine. So this is the correct way of writing an interhalogen compound. But if I am writing this compound in this way, that is Fi7. Is it correct? Fi7. If you are writing in this way, it shows that this one is X dash. So this should be of smaller size. In this one is the greater size. So this is not the correct interhalogen compound. So whenever the interhalogen compounds are written, that is the X dash will be the smaller part and of high electronegativity. These are also called as X dash is called as halogen halides. X dash 3 is called as halogen trihalides because 3 trihalides. Here this one is called as halogen pentahalides and these are called as halogen heptahalides depending upon the number of halogens as a halide here. So that is the 4 type of interhalogen compound. Let us see some of the examples of these. That is IF7. You are familiar with the IF7. You look at here. F is smaller in size and I is greater in size. So the formation, that is X dash 7, that is X dash should be smaller one. You can see X dash is smaller one. Next example, IF5. There also you can see F is smaller, therefore it forms IF5. Similarly, we have ICl3, ICl, IBr, BRF5, BRF3, BRCl. Here when you compare it to BRF5, F is smaller than Br. So we cannot write F BR5. This is not correct because in this case this one should be of smaller one. So this is not the correct one. So these are the different examples of interhalogen compounds which is shown in the tabular form. Now let us discuss the preparation of interhalogen compounds. Interhalogen compounds can be prepared by the direct combination of different halogens like chlorine and fluorine when it is taken in the equal volume at the temperature 437 Kelvin. It gives rise to ClF, that is a interhalogen compound between the chlorine and fluorine, that is ClF. How we name this one? That is chlorine fluoride. It is a chlorine fluoride. Similarly, when the equal volume of I2 and Cl2 is taken, it is giving rise to the product ICl, that is called as iodine chloride. So that is the interhalogen compound between iodine and chlorine. In this, I is getting positive oxidation state, Cl is getting minus oxidation state. That is +1 oxidation state for I, minus oxidation state for Cl. But in order to prepare little bit higher interhalogen compound, one of the halogen should be taken in the excess, like chlorine plus thrice fluorine, that is fluorine is taken in excess at the temperature 573 Kelvin. It gives rise to ClF3, which is called as chlorine trifluoride. Chlorine trifluoride. And if you want to prepare ICl3, we need to take iodine plus thrice chlorine. That is, chlorine should be taken in excess here. So at that time we will be getting ICl3. How we name this one? Iodine. Cl because it forms the halide part here. So iodine trichloride. That is the name for this compound. And if you want to prepare BRF3, so what are the two halogens we need to take here? That is bromine plus fluorine, thrice fluorine. It is taken. So we are getting, that is twice BRF3. How we name this one? That is bromine trifluoride. So in this compound BRF3, F is getting -1 oxidation state and Br is getting +3 oxidation state. So fluorine, as we have learned that it always forms negative oxidation state. So here fluorine is getting -1 oxidation and Br is getting +3 oxidation state. Similarly, when we talk about the compound IF7, in IF7, I is getting -1 oxidation, F is getting -1 and I is getting +7 oxidation state. So these are the preparation of the interhalogen compound, that is a reaction between the two different halogens. But even it can be prepared from lower interhalogen compound. That is, from one interhalogen compound we can prepare another interhalogen compound. Like ClF3, which is prepared here in this method, reaction with chlorine with fluorine. This ClF3 can be prepared from ClF. That is ClF plus F2 give rise to ClF3. That means this is an interhalogen compound, this is an interhalogen compound. So higher interhalogen compound can be prepared from lower interhalogen compound. Similarly, one more example we are taking, that is the preparation of ClF5. ClF5 can be prepared from ClF3. So ClF3 plus F2 give rise to ClF5. So higher interhalogen compound can be prepared on lower interhalogen compound. So thus we have discussed here, that is interhalogen compounds can be prepared by the direct combination of two different halogens or by the action of halogen on lower interhalogen compounds. So this is about the preparation. Next, the properties of interhalogen compounds. First, polar nature. They have polar nature because all the compounds are covalent. Let us take an example, X dash. Here, X and X dash are the two different halogens. So because of the difference in the electronegativity between the two halogen atom, one of them will develop a partial positive charge, that is this one will develop a partial positive charge and X dash develop partial negative charge. So in interhalogen compound, because of the small electronegativity differences between the two different halogens, they show polar nature. So we can say that there is some sort of polarity in the molecule because of the difference in the electronegativity between the two halogen atom in the interhalogen compound. Next, reactivity. When we compare the reactivity of X dash with X2, where X dash is the interhalogen compound and X2 is a halogen except fluorine. So it is observed that interhalogen compound is more reactive than halogens. This is because the XX dash bond is weaker than XX bond. That is due to the small electronegativity differences between X and X dash. So we can say that interhalogen compounds are more reactive than the halogens except fluorine, because fluorine is the most reactive element. So this is due to the difference in the electronegativity between the two halogens. But in the case of a halogen, the two halogens are the same halogen here. So there is no electronegativity differences here. So this bond is polar and because of that it is more reactive. When we compare the general physical properties of these elements, which is shown here, like this one is colorless gas, this is pale brown gas, and some are solids, you can see, like these, some are solid, some are gases in nature. So these are the general physical state of these and color, which is shown in the tabular form in the textbook. Next, hydrolysis. The interhalogen compounds on hydrolysis, that is X dash plus water, give rise to HX dash and HOX, where HX dash, one of the compound that is formed is called as halide and the other one is called as a hypohalite, that is a oxo acid, that is also called as hypohalous acid. So the interhalogen compound in which one of the halogen is giving rise to acid, the other halogen is giving rise to halide. Now when you check this in the colored form, it is given X, that is the larger halogen is giving rise to acid, that is you can see HOX, and the smaller halogen is giving rise to halide. It is very important to note this point that this in this general equation it is shown that the larger is forming the larger halogen in the interhalogen compound is forming the acid and the smaller one is forming the halide. Now let us make some of the structure for these, that is some of the equation which is shown here. XX dash plus H2O give rise to HX dash HOX, that is hypohalous acid, and next XX dash 3 plus H2O give rise to thrice HX dash, and the larger one, which is the larger one, that is represented here in blue color X, that is forming an acid. But which acid is formed here? That is Hallus acid is formed. That is HOXO. Hallus acid is formed. Next, XX-5 on hydrolysis, it is giving rise to halide and halic acid, that is HOXO2, and XX-7 on hydrolysis giving rise to halide and perhalic acid, that is HOXO3. So what is clear from this one? The interhalogen compound from this, the larger one is forming the acid, that is an oxo acid that you can see here. Different oxo acids are formed depending upon the interhalogen compound. So in the first case, you are getting hypohallous acid, that is with the XX dash. With XX dash 3 we are getting HOXO. So how easily we can learn this equation? That is, learn first equation. So in the second equation, you have to add one more oxygen here. Here you have to add one more oxygen. Here also you have to add one more oxygen. That depending upon the interhalogen compound. So the hydrolysis of interhalogen compounds is giving rise to halide and the oxo acid. And the oxo acid depends upon the interhalogen compound which is undergoing hydrolysis. So these are the properties which we have discussed for the interhalogen compound. In this video, we discussed about the preparation and properties of interhalogen compound. This topic is quite important because the question usually arises from this area. So all the points in this topic is important. So that is all about this video. Have a nice day.